All right, I'm not too sure how I wanted to approach this video, but this question is, I don't know, it's pretty rampant. People keep on asking me about that, and it's career advice. It's like, Amir, what should I do? Where should I focus on? And I think this is applicable for anybody, anywhere, any age group. And I'm not going to sit here and preach to you some kind of guru that knows everything. Fuck, man, I got my own shit I got to still figure out. And we're always going to be figuring out our own shit. That's the whole process of life. There's no end. It's all one big journey. And when you realize that the journey is a treasure at the end of the rainbow, then you realize that everything is a learning experience. There's a saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so when most people are asking these questions of what they should do, generally speaking, what they're asking is, can I have permission to do something? A lot of times when people are lost, they're looking for self-love because they don't have any. They need to get validation from other people, validation from their peers, validations from their partners, validations from their parents, validations from their religion, from their culture, etc., etc. They need to have some form of an external acceptance so they can validate their decisions. And for the most part, when you look at any successful person, athlete, business person, whoever, really doesn't matter, they define their own path. They make their own decisions, not based on what other people think they should do, but based on what they want to do. And I think this is a big hurdle for anybody in any age, anywhere in the world, is self-love. Funny saying I always say with my wife is like, I love myself more than I love you, because if I don't love myself, who's going to love me? And a lot of the issues we as human beings have goes back to self-love. Because if you fucking truly love yourself, you would not be putting up with a lot of shit in your life. I mean, really, if you really love yourself, you would be taking care of your body. You'd be taking care of your mentality. You'd be taking care of your spirituality. You'd be taking care of your finances. And anything that intrudes on that, anything that disrupts the love and self-care of you as an individual, well, guess what? You wouldn't stand for it whatsoever. You'd be like, fuck this. And so it's not that black and white of an answer when people are asking me at a young age in their 20s, what to fucking do. Me personally, 20s, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, had an OD, had run-ins with the law. I made a lot of fucking mistakes when I was younger. One thing you could do when you're younger is make a lot of mistakes and still have time to fix those mistakes and better yourself. But bottom line, the reason why I was making these mistakes is I wasn't loving myself. I wasn't respecting myself. I was looking for validation from other people. And I was never sitting down and thinking for myself. Never. I wasn't an individual. I was part of the, as Rene Girard would say, the mimetic herd. And so I can't sit here, I can't lie to you and tell you that there is a clear black and white answer, because there is not. There is no fucking black and white answer in anything in life. The answer is complicated. The answer is difficult. There's many different shades of gray within the spectrum of your answer. But the one thing that I can tell you is you need to start loving yourself. You need to start appreciating yourself. You need to start doing self-care. That's the number one thing in success in life, is taking care of yourself. Now the question becomes is, how do you get to this? There's many different paths to get to this. Through life experiences, through counseling, through finding maybe a good mate, through psychedelics, you name it, right? But the bottom line is, I don't want to beat around the bush and tell you guys some hodgepodge of like, get a mentor, it's going to transform your life. Or like, just go to the gym and lift weights and magically shit's going to be better. No. It's much deeper than that. It goes back to a holistic approach of like, what are the fundamental reasons why I'm not currently loving myself? Everything else, the gym and the mentor, these are tactics. These are band-aids on a deeper rooted problem that exists in you. And so you got to identify what this problem is. And I'll tell you things that worked in my life. I've been blessed to find an amazing mate. I've been blessed to have an amazing inner circle, and it takes time to find a good inner circle. I changed my diet. Deeply ingrained into psychedelic therapy for the last decade or so. Many other different things, but those are like the primary things that helped me. And life is not a race. That's another thing I tell people is like, Everyone gets imposter syndrome. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I've never had it. Of course I fucking had it. Everyone has it, man. We're fucking human. But stop comparing yourself with other people. You're a unique person. You know, that's another thing of why you're trying to ask this question of what you should do or what your career should be. You're trying to anchor a success of another person, or anchor the narrative and the mythology of what you should be in the future. You're never ever truly talking to yourself. You're always looking at a different point of so-called success, and you're trying to anchor your present day self to that future version of yourself, or majority of the time to something else. So anchoring yourself to like an entrepreneur that's like, oh, I'm going to be the next Elon Musk or Peter Thiel. Or if you're an athlete, you're anchoring yourself to like, you know, I'm going to be the next fucking Muhammad Ali, whatever it may be. You know, same thing with your parents that are forcing you, most parents still do today, forcing you to go to university or forcing you to get that degree. They are anchoring your current self to your so-called future self. And this is a massive problem. Stop comparing yourself to your future self. Stop comparing yourself to anybody else and start looking at yourself today. You know, there's that Aboriginal saying, you know, one step at a time. It's literally one step at a time. What can you do today to improve yourself? What can you do today to love yourself? What can you do today to just be a little bit happier? You know, a lot of these things that we are currently doing today, you know, within whether it's like career or business, it's goes back to a lot of external gratification that we're looking for. Nietzsche has a great saying, you know, the most dangerous thing that a man can do is be by himself. And it's true. And I had Nick Hobson on my podcast a couple of days ago. The episode's going to drop. We actually had just fun. Go check it out. Make a link below this video. But we had an interesting discussion about morality and chickens. And they've done a study where they ask participants, men, to go in a room, and this applies for women as well, to go in a room, and you have a choice of cell phone versus not cell phone. Majority chose cell phone. People cannot be left to their own devices. And this is why meditation is so powerful. And this is why we need to really start focusing on internalizing who we are, understanding who we are, understanding why you feel a certain way, understanding why you feel anger, understanding why you feel let's say most people feel envy or jealousy. And I think the more we can start concentrating on our internal energies of who we are and why we behave a certain way, the better we can create systems for success in the future. And I'll leave it at that, man. I know you guys are expecting some kind of like some kind of simple answer. Hey, if you just go to school or you just do this type of business, everything's going to be okay. That's not the truth, man. Life is sticky. Life is complicated, but there is a premise behind all this, and that's loving yourself, understanding yourself, and respecting yourself, and everything else is secondary towards that. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a comment. I'd love to have your feedback on this. And like always, if you find value, subscribe to my video and like this video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.